Well, the business of making Irish whiskey came to a halt in Dublin back in the 1970s when the last distillery, well, it just shut its doors. But whiskey production, it is coming back to the Irish capital thanks to our next guest. Jack Teeling is the founder of the Teeling Whiskey Company. Great to have you here on Taking Stock. Always a good way to end Taking Stock with a little bit of whiskey.
Yeah, well, delighted to be here and delighted to get Teeling whiskey back into the U.S.
You have been in a family that's been involved in the whiskey business for a long time.
Yeah, we've been crafting Irish whiskey since 1782.
Wait, say it again.
1782.
Long time.
Yeah, so we're, let's say, the 8th generation of Teelings involved in the industry, and myself and my brother, you know, we're trying to do things a little bit differently, but be respectful to the past, but forge a new direction for Irish whiskey.
All right, so you guys had a company business, right? The Cooley Distillery.
Yeah, my father set that up in '87. At the time, we were the first new distillery in over 100 years, and I worked in it, and so did my brother, until it was sold just in 2012.
And you sold it to a little company known as Beam.
Yeah, a small American company called Beam, and you know, they're good custodians for the brands, but it gave me an opportunity to sell the Teeling Whiskey Company and revive the Teeling brand, and just do things a little bit differently, because Irish whiskey is growing tremendously, driven mainly by the US, and there's room for small guys to do interesting things.
Jack, you keep saying you're doing things differently, and I'm had an opportunity to kind of smell a little bit. It smells pretty nice. What are you doing differently from some of the big guys?
Yeah, well, you know, the big brands out there in Irish whiskey, they're given the option to growth. But for us as a category, there needs to be a lot of breadth, a lot of choice, and different expressions, different flavors for people to discover.
Right.
So what we're doing with our whiskey and our small batch offering, which we're just launching in the US on the 1st of April, we hand select casks of grain and malt whiskey, and then we let it marry together in rum barrels for 6 months, and imparts an extra layer of character to it, and then we bottle at 46% to capture all the natural flavors in the whiskey. And that just gives it the smooth, sweet taste that people love about Irish whiskey, but with added complexity and flavors. Just allow people to discover a new expression, a new brand of Irish whiskey.
There's a lot of competition, then, when it comes to whiskey. I mean, so I hear what you're doing to differentiate yourself. You know, how tough is it, though, to kind of get into what is a very established market?
Yeah, a lot of very old brands, a lot of big companies that control the route to market, have big budgets to compete against.
Yeah.
But for small guys like ourselves, it's all about producing a differentiated, high-quality product, and we focus on the craft element that you know, people are looking for today.
Just got a few seconds left here, about 20 seconds. You've got 3 products. What are they?
It's the Teeling Small Batch Irish Whiskey, the Teeling Single Grain Irish Whiskey, and the Teeling 21-year-old Single Malt. And they will all become available over the next couple of years in the US.
Got a favorite?
Well, the one I have in my hand right at this moment in time. So.
I was going to say, they're all your children, right?
Yeah, little babies.
Hey, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Jack Teeling, he is of Teeling Irish Whiskey.